30 for 30 started as sort of a break with the sports century cookie cutter template style of ESPN documentaries. The idea was to get 30 different filmmakers to tell 30 different stories, hopefully ones that were kind of personal to them as well, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of ESPN. So the idea was they were all different, and they were for the start. When we did the U, it kind of created a subgenre of 30 for 30s of the kind of like unapologetic, swagger-filled superhero athletes. And then as a result of that, that became a kind of template within the series. Like I said, a subgenre of the series that has been duplicated a lot. I'm not going to lie, I'll sometimes turn on ESPN, there'll be a 30 for 30 on, and I'll be like, did I direct this one? But the U started that it was the highest rated 30 for 30 for years, and then so people started to look at like what other stories like that could we tell, and then that became the template for that. But most of the 30 for 30s are and now there's been like 90 of them, honestly, or something like that, because it was so successful and the brand became so synonymous with great sports storytelling. But that's the thing, it's like a worst kept secret among filmmakers, is that sports movies are probably some of the easiest stories to tell, because it's almost like cheating in a way, because everything you need for like drama or to tell an exciting story is already inherent in sports itself. Overcoming adversity against all odds, a hero who wants something that they have to overcome obstacles to achieve. Just conflict is already built into sports, usually a race against time with the exception of football, soccer. That's why I don't get soccer. It's like the clock goes up, it's supposed to go down. Even baseball, people go, well, baseball doesn't have a clock. I'm like, yes, it does. It's 3 outs. That's the clock, and it's the job of the of the offense to make that go as long as possible, and the job of the defense to shut it down as quickly as possible. That could be 3 batters. So like just sports is drama. So like if you think about it, even not just documentaries but scripted, narrative features or stories, like even take the not so good ones. They're still really entertaining. Like if they're on TV, you'll still like. I think about the Kevin Costner has his baseball trilogy. Like great Bull Durham, classic, Field of Dreams, classic, and then there's For Love of the Game, not a classic. But then if it's on, and spoiler alert, he's like, here's this aging pitcher, sort of never found love, might have actually found it in the, ready to retire, pitching this no-hitter. It's still like, it's like not a great movie, but it just fucking works, and that's the thing about sports movies, is they just work. And like I said before, the best sports stories, and particularly the best sports documentaries, are the ones that are less about sports. If you're telling a story about a football team, there's going to be sports in it. It's about a football team. The question is what else matters to, as you said, sort of the universal truths that people will be able to relate to. True story, one of the people we interviewed for an upcoming doc was a money launderer, a Colombian money launderer for almost 30 years now. And so I was on the phone with him. We needed to guarantee his anonymity in order to secure his interview. We had to silhouette him and manipulate his voice and everything. And we're just on the phone. Now we're going to fly him up from Colombia. We're just kind of getting to know each other. And so I said, my name is Billy Corben. I'm the director of Cocaine Cowboys. And we start talking, and then we hang up the phone. The next day, we have another conversation. He says, your name sounded very familiar to me. He said, did you direct The U? I was like, yeah. He goes, I love The U. And I was like, I have to apologize for being sort of typecasting you. And I led with Cocaine Cowboys, so I thought, well, a drug money launderer in Colombia is going to know. He's like, oh no. He goes, everybody knows the Cocaine. He goes, everybody in my line of work knows Cocaine Cowboys. He goes, but I'm a big Michael Irvin fan, and I love Cocaine Cowboys. I was like, that's very fun. I'm sorry, I love The U. And I'm like, that's very, because I figured in Colombia, what do they know from American football, especially college football? But I was totally wrong. So it kind of translated and it traveled, and because I think there was some universal themes there.